Hi, so I'm about to have my Disney College Program interview in just about 10 minutes if she calls on time, so I just wanted to start recording now, just in case she calls early, but I'll show you my setup. I have all my notes here, stuff I'm going to take other notes with, and yeah, so really nervous, really excited. I think the main reason this interview feels more nerve-wracking than other interviews I've had in the past for even professional stuff. I'm a marketing major. Is that this seems a lot more personal just because Disney has such a close place in my heart, and I'm really talking about things that pertain to my future and my values and stuff along those lines. So yeah, I'm fairly nervous. More excited than nervous though, which is good, just because this is always any interview is always a really good practicing tool, and you get to learn a lot from it. And from what I've heard from my research and stuff about the Disney College Program interview process, they're pretty nice people. They're very warming and helpful, and none of the questions are curveballs. You can find a lot of the potential questions they're going to ask online, which is what I did. I wrote down the answers to a lot of potential questions I think that might be asked of me, and then I also wrote down questions for ones that I would want to ask for them. So yeah, so I'm deciding to record this video because I've seen a lot of other people who record their interviews, and I feel like maybe talking about it a little bit before my interview might calm down my nerves a little bit, which is, I'm already feeling that. So I think if you're getting your Disney College Program interview, maybe try recording yourself, because one, it's also good to watch back later for practice and see where you can improve upon. I'm losing my mind. It can also help with calming your nerves and making you not panic as much. Talking about it makes it seem less scary almost, I guess, kind of. Anyways, so I'll cut for here, and next time you hear me, I'll be having my interview. Bye! So it's currently 8:19. Still haven't received the call, but I know there's a 15-minute window, so trying to stay patient and not get too nervous. I just checked the website to see if my phone number was incorrect again, and it is, so I think we're okay, but the waiting is the worst part. I just want to start. Hi, this is Erin. I'm good, Michelle. How are you doing? Absolutely. Sounds great. Okay, no problem. Yes, I've never worked for a Disney company before. Yes, I'm currently in school at University of San Francisco, and I'm graduating this upcoming December. Thank you. Absolutely. Oh, I don't remember clicking that, but I think, is that the availability agreement regarding when you're available to start in January? Oh, oh, yeah, actually, after more research, I'm completely fine with that. I've dug more into it, and I have no questions anymore. No, I am not. Yes, I was. Nope, I just have traditional ear piercings. I have two on each ear, but I have no problem only wearing one. I actually rarely wear earrings anyways, so that's no problem. Yeah. Yes, I do. Yes, but actually, yeah, actually, after a little bit more research, because I'm actually from Southern California, so I originally picked that because I just wanted to be in my comfort zone. But now that I'm thinking about it more, I think I would actually prefer Walt Disney World because I've never actually been there, and I think that'd be a really amazing experience. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I would. Mm-hmm. I can have a car with me there. I'm originally from San Diego, so I can bring my car up if I needed to. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't think I would face any immediate challenges. I've lived in a lot of, I've shared rooms with people a lot throughout my college experience, ranging from sharing a room with 2 to 3 other people. So that's never been an issue for me. I feel like the only issues that may arise is just at the beginning when we're first learning each other's preferences, sleeping habits, cleanliness habits. But I feel like after you agree on that and figure out a good cleaning rotation schedule, everything should work out fine. Definitely. So actually, I've experienced something very similar to that in my current living situation. I have two roommates, one who is newer to our house, and they weren't getting along with a lot of our cleaning habits, and so they were having arguments amongst themselves, not so much including me, but I was starting to get pulled into it just because I was the lone wolf of the three of us. So definitely what we tried to do was just all sit down together because what was originally happening was all the conversations were through text messages, and a lot of things can get misconstrued through text. You can't really understand another person's tone, so it's easy to feel like they're just being angry at you. So we all decided as a group to sit down and actually talk about it, and that helped a lot, and we've been doing so much better since then. Yeah. Definitely. So, obviously, it's a dream of mine to work for Disney full time one day. I'm a marketing major, so I would really love to join the children's entertainment marketing industry, and that's kind of what I see my career trajectory looking like. And I believe that being a part of the Disney College program is really going to be an amazing stepping stone in that journey for me. And it'd just be an amazing experience, not just for my career path, but just personally because I am a huge Disney lover. Anyone who knows me would describe me as just a Disney lover child at heart. So it would be an amazing personal experience as well as a lot of professional growth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at Organizer, I actually just started this past summer, and I was originally one of their marketing interns, but because it is a startup environment, things are changing every day. They decided to promote me to marketing executive just because I was taking on a lot more roles than they initially expected me to. And it's been an amazing experience. I've continued on my staying with them throughout the school year as well. So I've really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of marketing strategy, really working on their inbound marketing, strategies there, and then also just a lot of team building because we are a small group but we're growing every day. I work a lot with all the different departments within the company: sales, customer success, product. So being just the marketing executive really isn't my only role. I've had to wear a lot of different hats, which has been really exciting, and it's taught me a lot more about time management, which has been really great. Yeah, so one of the things I didn't list on there that actually really relates to my top choice for the Bippity Boppity Boutique as a fairy godmother in training, I actually used to have a company in high school and early college called Princess Paints, where I would go to birthday parties and different events like pumpkin patches for Halloween dressed as a princess, and I would do face painting and like hair and makeup for little girls and boys as well. I would do like pirates and ghosts and anything they wanted. And so that was actually something I did a lot in high school. I would be hired for birthday parties to go do that and had to stay in character because I was dressed as a princess the entire time. So that was probably one of my favorite like non-professional work experiences that I've ever had, just because I was doing what I love creatively and just being able to be around children and be in that environment. It was really an amazing experience. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, wow. Definitely. I've had a lot of experiences being just in crowded areas and having long lines. With that last experience I just told you about, being like a face painter, a princess face painter, when I would work at the pumpkin patches, I would usually have lines of 20 kids waiting for me because I'd be the only face painter there, and they all wanted their face painted in some way. So I would always have these long lines. I'd be standing up the entire time. So definitely it was strenuous, but I definitely got into a rhythm of it. And just being able to make those kids smile really made my day and kind of took away the stress I was having just because I was giving them a little joy and a little magic in their moment. So I've definitely experienced it. Definitely can be a challenge, but I've adapted to ways to overcome it, and I actually really enjoy it. I feel like having a fast-paced environment makes the day go by quicker and makes it a lot more fun than a slow environment with just trickling people. Hmm. Definitely. So I'm definitely a planner. I've always had a planner throughout like elementary school to today. I like to write everything out and be very organized in my own brain. So definitely I feel like also being very actionable and the things you do being actionable and adaptable to situations is a really key strength that I try to always exude from myself. Being able to take actions, not having tasks build up on you, because that's, for me personally, is very stressful, is seeing all my tasks build up. So I try to do things right when they're assigned to me, right when I need to, and being adaptable to situations. You never know when something's going to be thrown at you, or a coworker suddenly wasn't able to come to work and you have to take on their shift or be able to do something that they weren't able to accomplish. I feel like being adaptable and actionable are definitely two key traits to have within those areas. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, with my current position right now as at organizer, this past summer I had to go to a convention where I was basically standing at a booth all day talking about our product and service to every single person that would walk by. So it became a very repetitious speech, and but eventually I got really good at saying it. And even though it was very repetitive, I got really good at understanding where the conversation was going with that individual, and I could tell where the conversation needed to move just by how they were looking at the product or their body language. And I feel like even though the conversation can be repetitious, you're able to gather a lot more information from the individual because you're so used to saying it. You can see how they're reacting to things you're saying, what more information they need, what information do they already have. So definitely, I feel like it really helps with staying attentive and learning the customer and what their needs and wants are. Mhm. Absolutely. So, me personally, I find being a leader and a follower just as important as each other. I don't think either one or the other should be valued more, and I think there's always a time and a place to be a leader or a follower. Personally, I like to take on leadership roles. I feel like I naturally fall into that, but I've learned throughout my college experience, and especially as a business major, with so many projects, group projects that we do, there's a really good time to be a follower as well and to not so much take a back seat, but let someone else shine, let someone else have a moment where this is their idea and they're really running with it. So I definitely think being a leader and follower are so important to know how to do both. I definitely am more inclined to leader, but I love being a follower and I am never opposed to it. Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely, yeah. So, since I'm from San Diego, we definitely have very temperate weather. It doesn't really change that often. But I've been able to be fortunate enough to travel to areas where it does have a lot more intense weather, I guess you could say. A lot of my family is actually from the Philippines. So, whenever I go there, it is hot there. It is hot and humid. And so, I don't know, I haven't been to Florida yet, unfortunately, but I've heard stories, anyways, that they're very similar weather types, very hot, especially during the summertime. It can be very humid and muggy, but I've had experiences with those weathers and I know how to adapt to it. And definitely, I'm not a complainer, so I'm perfectly fine with doing tasks outdoors and having to adapt to new weather. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I actually looked more into that role, and I currently go to school in San Francisco, and there's no auditions in this area. And when I was first looking at that, after doing more research in the role, I don't know if it would suit me personally, but also I can't attend any of the auditions, unfortunately, since there's none in my local area. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Definitely. Well, I have actually a very personal story attached to this question. When I was really young, and actually probably up until early middle school, late middle school, I was terrified of all the characters at Disneyland, and I would never ever want to go up to them. I would always have my parents or my two older brothers go get their autographs for me because I still wanted them, but I just didn't want the interaction. And I really wish I had someone who would show me not to be afraid of these characters, not to be afraid of these new experiences, because I feel like I would have enjoyed Disneyland a lot more when I was younger and not be so fearful. So for me, because I have this personal experience, I feel like just getting down on their level, speaking to them calmly, being like, this character's your friend, Mickey's your friend, they've been wanting to meet you all day, they're really excited, and there's nothing to be afraid about, and just really trying to get on their level and understand where they're coming from and possibly like play a game with Mickey. Obviously, I'd want every kid to have a moment with them, have a magical moment, but maybe play like peekaboo or like patty cake or something along those lines. But definitely making it so it's a new experience but not something to be feared, and just trying to understand where their fears are stemming from, I feel like is very important. Mm-hmm. Definitely. So if a character was having to leave for the day, I would definitely let them know that there'll be other characters coming back later. Mickey will be back later. I would try to hopefully spin some story along the lines Mickey misses Minnie. He's gonna go say hi to her now, but he'll be back later. Just so it's not just very like stern and they have to leave now. I'm trying to make it more of an experience, keep it underneath Disney's brand guidelines, and definitely keeping the character integrity alive. Definitely. Well, I definitely believe me remaining calm in the first moment is really important. Just taking some deep breaths, trying to recognize what the situation is, what the next following steps are going to be, and trying to sort that all out in my head and then take action on those steps. Not panicking, I feel like, is the most important part to helping a situation and focusing on the customer or the guest who needs your help. So definitely staying calm, analyzing the situation and then taking those steps to rectify it or help them and get some guidance. Mm-hmm. Definitely. So I've had a lot of experience with children, like I've said before, working at pumpkin patches and at birthday parties. So definitely coming with an arsenal of games and even quick activities you can play with them is always so important, whether they're themed games or just like not patty cake, the Down by the Banks game. But I definitely feel like just coming with an arsenal of games and activities, questions like telephone games and stuff like that are really important to have in your back pocket, especially working with children, and always having something ready because kids can get bored really easily or like want something more to keep their attention. So just being creative and always being on your toes is very important with children, I believe. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I actually, when I used to work at a grocery store and I would work in the deli counter. So I've handled food before. I know food safety practices, always washing my hands. I'm very careful around food, and I've actually taken culinary food like classes before in the past. So I'm very comfortable around food and keeping those best practices to make sure everything is clean, sanitary, and the best quality for the guests. Yes, I have actually been a cashier at that same grocery store back in late high school, early college. So I've had plenty of experience handling cash. I think I would handle upwards of $5,000 to $10,000 a day. So definitely have experience managing cash wisely and making sure my cash register is balanced at the end of the day. Hmm. Yeah, I feel very confident in my abilities regarding those. Hmm. Absolutely. Well, I would first try to call the stores in our area that I know have similar products or similar items and call them and ask them, do you have this product? A customer is looking for it, see if there's anything in the area, and if I'm not able to find that exact product within the surrounding stores, I would definitely try to find them something similar or just let them know that it's not here right now, but hopefully you can find it through other means, whether it's online or through our Disney store. So, yeah, I would just definitely try to use all my resources and do my best for them. Absolutely. So I mentioned it briefly before, but I believe I'm most qualified for being a fairy godmother in training at the Bippity Boppity Boutique. I love working with children. I've gotten up close and personal with them, putting on makeup, doing their hair. I have a lot of experience in costuming as well. So I know I can handle the long lines, having kids constantly coming through. And I'm just really passionate about makeup and hair, and I want to give children that special moment of feeling like a princess. And I've watched a lot of the YouTube videos online of the fairy godmothers in training doing the hair and the makeup and the nails for the little girls, and I just think it's so inspiring just seeing their faces light up when they see the mirror. And I want to be able to bring that magic for other little girls and just be able to be a part of it and be a fairy godmother. I think that's just something that really speaks to me. Yes, I can be a very independent person. I love getting feedback, but once I get that feedback, I love rolling with it and doing it independently and doing it to the best of my ability. Awesome. Sounds great. Okay. Absolutely. So I guess one of my first questions are, what are the move-in dates for both programs for Walt Disney World and Disneyland? If you know those dates. Oh, okay. 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 All right, that's really good to know. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, that sounds great. And then also, I guess another one of my questions are, what classes would you recommend taking if I were accepted into this program? Okay. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay, that's really good to know. Thank you so much. And then I guess my last question is, what are some of your magical Disney moments that you've had over the course of working for Disney or just personally? Oh, wow. Yeah. Absolutely. I totally agree. Just being able to stop for a moment and listen to the conversations happening around you is like, sometimes it's even more amazing than some of the rides. It's just like, these are how people are experiencing Disneyland, and sometimes it's so different from you, but then sometimes it's like, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. Like, they understand. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that story with me. That was really great, Michelle. I think that's all for me today. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. I will. You too, Michelle. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Ah! I think that went really well. I wish I was able to emphasize how much I want to be a fairy godmother in training even more, but there's only so much you can talk about it. But overall, I think the conversation went really well. I definitely think I talked a little fast at some moments, but I think I did my best, and I know you guys will too when you do this, you do your phone interview for the Disney College program. She said it's going to be about 4 to 6 weeks until I find out, so who knows? I've heard a lot of different things about how long it takes. My interview's name was Michelle, like I said multiple times. It's always good to remember their name, their first, oh my god, I just dropped my stuff. It's always good to remember them by their first name since Disney is on a first name basis. So, great conversation, really enjoyed it. Good luck, you guys. You'll love it. It was great. I have so many good things to say right now. I'm so happy. Anyways, alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Peace out.